What's up, guys? I'm kind of an idiot and I did this whole take and it was really good audio take, but then I realized that my mic wasn't plugged into the camera. So with this vlog, I did want to say something important, talking about how I've been listening to, the new J. Cole album, The Fall Off on loop, and it all leads to one pretty beautiful conclusion, in my opinion. That's on one of the last tracks on the album. It's called Quick Stop. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, okay? This isn't a review. It's just sort of something personal that has resonated with me and I wanted to share. And on this last track, it's about him going to the gas station on a day when, a lot of artists feel this way, where they feel a little bit depressed or burnt out, I think might be a better word, and they're trying to find the purpose of why they still do this. It happens to me. I think it happens to a lot of them. Meeting this guy who's a fan of his at the gas station, and he just gives him gratitude for all the work and how it's impacted him through all of the tough times in his life. And then Cole comes to this conclusion, which I named the title of the video after. It's about the difference you make. It's simple, but it's profound, because we're obsessed with statuses, we're obsessed with numbers, we're obsessed with all these things that can be numerated, but we forget, sometimes the most beautiful things are the things that can't be quantified. It's about the difference you make. It's about how you make people feel. And I think it's, somewhat beautiful, because a lot of times celebrities will do this thing where they try to be relatable. They try to relate to the common man, but then they just give them advice that literally they can't do unless they already have the access or the means of something. But this is applicable to wherever you live at, wherever you work at, whatever background you come from. It's about the difference you make. Yeah, you might not be able to save the world, but you can help and you can make a difference in your own way. How you make people feel, it goes a long way, man. And I know I said I don't want to bore you with the details of the album, but I do have to give some context here. A lot of the album, The Fall Off, is sort of J. Cole being existential and questioning, what is my purpose? Because everything is sort of not permanent. Nothing lasts forever. Trying to come to terms with all the things he held ideal and important to him will eventually end. And what do you do with that? And I think that's what makes the realization that it's about the difference you make so beautiful. And I feel like sometimes people get very obsessed with this idea of status and social hierarchy, that they can ignore the things that can't be quantified, like I said earlier. I don't have some prestigious job. Right now I'm just a cashier, dude, just running the register. And if I took it as that, I would probably be miserable. But I'm not, because my real job is to make people feel happy. If you ever work customer service, if you ever work retail, you know what I'm talking about. It's like some people just don't have anyone to talk to. They don't have anyone that can make them feel seen or heard. That's what I'm there for. I just want to be able to connect with people in whatever way I can. I feel like that's what's so important. That's what's missing. And it's funny because back to Cole, he actually got hate for trying to interact with fans. People were calling it performative, trying to say that he was pretending like he was being the average man when... And to that I say, it's about connection, man. It doesn't matter the status. It doesn't matter any of that. And I also want to go on, sort of a side tangent and say, the way people use like performative as a criticism, a lot of times it's just cope. And that cope is, hey, I'm not doing anything positive. So if I see someone doing something positive, I'm going to be very cynical and accuse them for only doing it for public relations purpose. I know it's cope because I used to be that person. I used to be that person saying, it doesn't matter, they're all just doing it for their egos. But hey, guess what? They're actually making people feel something. They're actually making people connect. They're actually making a difference, which is what Cole talked about. And that's what I want to do, man. I want to make a difference. And yeah, you don't have to save the world, but you could help. You could help people in your own circle, in your own way. You set yourself back so much by saying that you can't do things sometimes. And that's sort of what I want the theme of this video to be. I want everyone to talk. I want everyone to comment what difference they make or what difference they're going to in the comments. That's part of what's so beautiful about the vlog challenge. I love, just the community we have here, even if it's not the same reach. I appreciate you guys, man.
Took a selfie with Dawn and gave the longest embrace, then looked him right in his face to let him know that this thanks was from a genuine place. Cause this continuous race to be the best will leave you stepping at a strenuous pace till you forget who you is and you forget who you ain't. Before you know it, you're trapped inside that picture you paint. This life is more than just rap, more than the bitches you scrape, more than the riches you stack. See, it's the difference you make. Yeah, it's the difference you make.